On the floor for the visiting Atlanta Hawks. At small forward, Zakare Rizache. At center, Onyeka Okongwu. At shooting guard, Dyson Daniels. At forward, Jalen Johnson. At the other guard position, Trey Young. The head coach of the visiting team is Quinn Snyder. Let's hear it for the starting five of your Portland Trail Blazers. At the small forward position, at 6'7", number 33, Toumani Camara. At guard, standing 6'5", number 17, Shaden Sharp. At guard, 6'3", number 1, Anthony Simon. In the middle, at 7 foot even, number 2, DeAndre Ayton. At the other forward position, at 6'9", number 8, Danny Avdia.
Hi everyone, time to get into it. NBA action on 2K Sports. And tonight our matchup, you'll see the Atlanta Hawks going up against the Portland Trail Blazers here at Moda Center. With Greg Anthony and Stan Van Gundy, this is Kevin Harlan, and we're joined by our reporter David Aldridge on the sidelines. A look at Atlanta's opening lineup. In the post, it'll be Johnson and Okongwu. Young is out there with Daniels. And it's Rizache in at the 3, the small forward. And for Portland, Avdia is out there with DeAndre Ayton. Then it's Shaden Sharp. Then it's Anthony Simon. And it's Camara in at the small forward position. Stan, this should be a fun one. A clash at the center position.
Yeah, and Kevin, the way the game has changed, you know, we don't see these kind of big men matchups much anymore. And so it's great to see one where two great big guys going at it, and you know they're going to go after each other.
And Stan, you know what you're talking about. You've had the opportunity to coach some great big men.
Oh, I have. I mean, I had Shaquille O'Neal, Dwight Howard, Andre Drummond. I seem to always have good centers.
Young with the ball. Pass to Daniels.
Come on, box it out, man.
Puts it up from 12. Young, no good. Sharp, the pass to Simons. Young against Sharp. Ayton a screen on Young. Sharp, that's good. Sharp's got the opening basket of the game for Portland.
Oh, gritty play by Sharp inside. Defense puts contact on the rookie, and he still gets it to fall.
It's Young on the wing. The shot's good on the assist by Daniels.
Well, he can beat you in a lot of ways. Very challenging to defend.
We're talking about Trae Young here, GA. What stands out most about him to you?
Well, Kevin, I'd say just how confident dominant he is, right? He plays with that unique energy and swagger. You love him if he's on your team and can't stand him if he's playing against you.
4 on the clock. Here's Simon. He clangs that one off the back iron and down it falls.
And he's not going to miss many of those, especially that wide open.
And it is dangerous to let him get it going this early.
Daniels with it, defended by Sharp. Now Okongwu from 20 feet out. And there's Daniels. That's good on the assist by Okongwu. And Simons, he's got the ball here for Portland. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. And each season, GA, it seems like Anthony Simons is given more and more responsibility.
You can understand why. He's proven to be a versatile scorer, and now we are seeing him take the next step with his playmaking.
And the first one drops. In his first 3 seasons in the NBA, Stan, Anthony Simons only started 5 games. But now he is out there a lot and getting starts.
Well, look, Kevin, he played under Damian Lillard. Not a bad role model for Anthony Simons. Another 6'3" guard with explosive scoring capability.
And at the line, it's all about consistency with him. His routine, his stroke, it never wavers.
Pass to Johnson. Daniels with it. It's Young on the wing, covered by Simons. From the baseline. Young, no good.
Well, he's more than comfortable in the mid-range, but you can't make them all.
And the basket by Kamare.
And that's exactly what he's looking for, draining the triple.
And Young kicks to Daniels. Back to Young. Okongwu against Ayton. The shot by Okongwu, no good.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
Simons finds Avdia. It's to Kamare. Now Sharp. With Samart. And Simons with the lay-in good. Simons has got 6.
Finding a little rhythm here that they have to like where they're at.
Yeah, you're seeing their offense in a flow. Now it's time for their defense to turn up the heat a little more.
Here's Young looking to end the run. Good on the bucket. Young's got his second bucket of the game to go.
Nice job capitalizing down there. Young good at probing inside and finding some space.
Now here's Simons. 6 points for him. Here's the break. And now we've got some time to check in from the sideline. They got it for us, DA.
Kevin, Anthony Simons came into the NBA at age 19, and he's paid his dues, working his way up from the end of the bench to a starring role. Coach Chauncey Billups says he just believes he's one of the best players in the NBA, and confidence is a big thing. Well, Kevin, he certainly earned it. Back to you.
I would totally agree with you, DA. Thank you so much. And we've got a timeout called by Chauncey Billups. He's going to have a discussion here on the sideline.
Let's see what you got. No.
Clint Capella, he's checked in for Okongwu. George Niang comes in for Rizache. Mann's checked in for Daniels. And Karis LeVert subbed in for Trey Young. There's a minute 40 left to play here in the first. Here's Klingon. Capella covering. Henderson. Rebound Atlanta. You know, Stan, the Blazers started the rebuild process with the big Dame Lillard trade to Milwaukee.
Kevin, it takes guts for a GM to make a move like that, and it didn't go well early on. But they've got to trust the process and stick with the plan that they made.
Brand sets a screen for Henderson, and he drops in the layup off the glass.
Yeah, another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively here so far.
Here's Mann. Aston Niang. Johnson outside. Shot clock at 5. Here's Mann. Off target with his 3. Portland leading by 5. Idle for 3. Rebounded by Capella. 29 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. Here's Mann. Defended by Thibault. Capella with a screen on Henderson. LeVert against Henderson. Here's Niang. Atlanta again missing. Three-pointer. And the last shot at the buzzer doesn't go in for him. And we reach the end of the first quarter. Trailblazers lead by 5. And we'll be back right after this. And if you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter in this one. What stands out to you guys from the Trailblazers so far in this one?
Boy, their offense looks really good when everyone's in sync. Terrific first quarter.
Yeah, they've looked sharp early on with their offense, getting good chances and converting what they've taken.
And here's Henderson. He'll bring it up for Portland. It's a 5-point game. So with Johnson on the bench, here's the 5 for Quinn Snyder right now. They've got Rizache. Terrence Mann is out there with George Niang. Then it's Clint Capella. And it's LeVert in at point guard. And guys, what do you think about the offensive approach we've seen so far for Portland?
Well, a lot of times you'll hear coaches yell, get the ball inside, and you can see why. Good things happen when you get the ball into the paint.
And also, they've been draining mid-range jump shots, measuring the defense well, and just taking what they give them.
Stan, I could talk about coaching with you from morning till night, but what's the most difficult part of coaching that maybe the average fan doesn't know about?
Well, there's probably a lot of things like that, Kevin, so I'll just give you one. When you're coaching a star player who's on the decline a little bit, in his own mind, he's still that guy he was in his best years, but you have to limit his role, not getting as many shots, things like that, and there can be some tension, and it's with the guy that you have huge respect for.
That's a great example. Coaching an aging star. Very good. Pass to Capella. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. Capella with a screen on Henderson. Oh, and the jam by Capella.
An all-around threat. LeVert is skilled at sizing up defenses and exploiting them in that pick and roll.
Now here's Henderson. And Two free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. It's on Karis LeVert. Portland shooting their fourth and fifth attempts at the free throw line tonight.
For your Trailblazers, Henderson taking 2 shots.
And that one falls for Henderson. And with this era of the Atlanta Hawks, Greg, they've gone as far as their defense has let them.
You look back at their conference finals run in 21, that was the last time they had a top 10 defense. So scoring's never been the issue with this core, but defense has been non-existent.
Robert Williams is checked in for Matisse Thybulle. Portland had, Greg, one of the great guard combinations in Clyde Drexler and Terry Porter.
Man, that was one heck of a backcourt, and they really complemented each other so well. Drexler with his explosive scoring ability, and Porter who could just do a little bit of everything.
Nice break. Here come the Trailblazers.
First personal foul.
And Portland making a change here. Benton's checked in, and the Hawks making a change here as well. Buffkin's checked in. And now approaching 2 minutes of action here in the second quarter. Grant outside. Going in the screen for Grant to the paint. And blocked. That one goes careening off the glass.
Opponents have to be careful when Capella is in the area. What an impressive display of timing.
Henderson attacking. Chance there to push it to double digits, but it's off the mark. Here's Buffkin. Up and in on the layup.
And that's almost automatic anytime he can get the ball in that position.
Here's Henderson. He makes that one drop only a second, 5 tries.
Well, that's taking full advantage of the opening. The defense probably willing to give him that one, but I like that he's capitalizing on it.
Pass to Capella to the middle. Low block shot on the way. That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2.
Well, he sends it inside where they can get a high percentage look. That's just great basketball.
Williams sets a screen for Grant. His second shot goes in, off to a good start, 2 for 2.
And how about the physicality from Grant, not allowing the close defense to keep him from his shot.
Screen by Niang. Here's LeVert, and it's denied. Here's Benton. LeVert defending. Here in the second quarter, just under 3.5 minutes played. Here's Henderson. Rebound by the Hawks. Here's Buffkin.
Yeah, way to get there first and be willing to absorb the contact.
And so Chauncey Billups calls for the timeout. He wants to make some adjustments to the game plan, clearly.
Clap it up, fans. Make some noise along with your Blazers breaker dance crew.
Trailblazers leading by 8. What a unique resume for Coach Quinn Snyder. Stan, he's coached in college. He's been overseas as a head coach. He's been in the G League, and now he is back in the NBA.
Yeah, and this guy's just a great coach. He's had teams that perform well at both ends of the floor. He's won everywhere he's been, and he's the only NBA coach I know of that's got a law degree on top of it.
So he's smart and he can coach. Oh, and by the way, he had a pretty good mentor in college, didn't he?
He certainly did.
It's time now to hear from our Hall of Fame reporter, David Aldridge. What's the latest, David?
Kevin, the last few years we saw teams giving up bounties worth of draft picks and trades for star players, but with teams now possessing more roster spots to develop prospects, and about 3/4 of the tradable picks awarded by just a third of the NBA's teams, we may not see so many picks given up moving forward. Kevin?
You're exactly right, David. Something certainly to keep an eye on. Pass to Kamare. Dayton with it. Portland moving the ball around. 6 to shoot. Here's Simon. He gets that one. Simons has got the lead up to 13 now for the Trailblazers.
Man, just adding insult to injury. He just waltzes inside and extends this lead.
Well, it's not going to get any easier if they can't improve their defensive intensity. They got to show some fight.
Pass to Simons. Back to Avdia. Simons against Young. The shot's good from Simons. Simons has got 13.
And when the score is as lopsided as it is, and you can see they smell blood in the water, our man is going for the jugular.
Pass to Ayton. Young against Simons. Back to Sharp. That 3 off the mark.
Amazing! Perfect timing there.
OMG, that's how you silence a crowd.
Thanks, guys. With Quinn Snyder, Coach, they came at you offensively, so what has to change for you defensively?
Well, a lot, obviously, with everybody on the floor. They're capable of doing this, but we're not. It's just too easy.
Got to tighten things up as we go along. Thanks for your time. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, David. And folks, don't go away. After the break, we'll see you right back here for the start of quarter number 3.
Fans, please direct your attention to center court and get ready for the fan half-court shot. Drums. They're thinking about the shot. Give it up for our participants.
And for those of you just tuning in, thanks for being with us. The second half of this game still to play. One of the stories here, Anthony Simons getting it done today.
Definitely been challenging the defense here early on, not settling for anything outside.
Well, I just love his fearlessness so far. He's charging inside like no one can stop him.
Trailblazers leading by 9. Andre Ayton out there with Avdia. Then it's Anthony Simons. Then it's Sharp. And it's Kamare in at the 3 slot. That's the group on the floor for Portland. And so Young will bring it up for Atlanta. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. Here we are, Stan, seeing more and more great international players in the NBA. And you've had a chance to coach some of the good ones as well.
Well, yeah, look, Kevin, you're right about the league now. We see every year, it seems like, the MVP is an international player. I had Hedo Turkoglu, was a big part of what we did in Orlando, was a most improved player in the league one year and a key part of our team that made it to the finals. 6'10", highly skilled, very versatile guy. There are great players coming from everywhere in the world.
And so Young nails them both.
And Young, a fiery competitor, someone who enjoys getting under the skin of opposing players.
Now here's Ayton. Here's Kamare. Okongwu grabs the board. The Hawks trail by 7. Pass to Johnson. Now Reza Shea. Inside. Here's Young. Makes the bucket. Now he's got 5 field goals, 5 for 8 in the game.
Creativity and shot-making ability to spare. Trae Young is getting loose tonight.
And this past offseason, Stan, was pivotal for the Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah, they've been at a crossroads, Kevin, every offseason since their Eastern Conference Finals run in 2021. But after missing out on the playoffs last season, changes seemed inevitable.
So it's the Hawks now. Portland making their last shot. Pass to Young. Just 5 to shoot. Off target from outside. Portland leading by 7. Down low. Here's Avdia. And finished off by Avdia.
Oh, good pass right there from Sharp. These types of plays really help team chemistry.
Here's Reza Shea. Back to Young for 3. 6 for 10 with that shot going in. That's a good game for a lot of guys.
And that pick takes the D totally out of the equation.
Yeah, you've got to lock and trail hard. You can't allow him to clean look.
And the slam dunk by Simon.
And there is no better way to add to the lead.
Isn't that true, GA, especially when the slam is coming from the point guard?
It shows you're able to attack the rim from any position.
And Okongwu slams it in.
For a center, he's maybe undersized, but his ability to get in the air to make a play balances that out.
Now, here's Simon. He's got 17. Pass to Sharp. They get it back, and that one's good. Ayton's got his second bucket.
A towering presence on the offensive glass. Ayton uses his height well to keep possessions alive.
Here's Daniels. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
And guys, the D has to show a little more fight on the interior than they did on that trip.
And here's Sharp. Fires from deep. Cans it from downtown. Sharp's got 5 points so far.
And nice work on the perimeter. Defenses must respect Sharp's rank.
We've seen some flashes, Coach, from Shaedon Sharp in his career. He can get hot in a hurry.
Well, look, Kevin, he is a great athlete, and when his shot starts to fall consistently, Right now, he's putting it together little by little. He's just got to continue to improve.
And we've got a timeout called by Chauncey Billups. Wants to talk some things over, might be seeing some things to adjust.
Attention fans, now on the court is your hype squad. Get loud and let them hear it. Who wants a free t-shirt tonight? Let them hear from you.
Both teams deciding to change it up. Just over 3.5 minutes through the third quarter of play now. Grant outside. Ayton sets the pick for Grant. Clock at 6. And stolen by Okongwu. Back to man.
2 minutes remaining in the third. 2 minutes.
1:58 left in the third quarter. Over Thibault. Okongwu, the pass to LeVert. Back to Okongwu. From outside, off the mark.
Well, you can tell he thinks he should have had that one. Even harder on him when he's got a good look like that and it doesn't go down.
And we've got a timeout called by Chauncey Billups. He wants to regroup and go over the strategy.
Portland, here are your Blazer dancers.
Clint Capella, he's checked in for Atlanta. Portland leading by 7. Clinging with it. No scoring in this one. And then Henderson with the dunk.
A little like Donovan Mitchell there. Henderson makes some really tough shots in traffic.
1:25 left to play here in the third. Now, here's Capella. He's guarded close to the inside. Niang. No good that time. Portland's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. Here's Avdia. Out to Henderson. Here's Grant. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Personal foul.
That's on Clint Capella.
And the combination of athleticism and defense Grant brings is superb. A guy who you can depend on to compete.
The free throw drops for Grant. Stan on the floor tonight. One of the best two-way players in the game, Jeremy Grant.
Yeah, Kevin, look, he's become a knockdown three-point shooter, but he also does a great job of putting the ball on the floor, attacking the basket, and getting to the free throw line. He puts a lot of pressure on the defense.
And Grant drops them both. Hey, Greg, what about Jeremy Grant? He's had about every role you can imagine on any team he's played on.
And Kevin, he started out as a second-round pick, hoping to just make a team. He's been a bench spark plug, a starter, even the #1 option in Detroit for a couple years. Grant's done it all.
Great use of the bounce pass there. You gotta love that.
Pass to Grant. Now, here's Thibault. Out to Henderson. There's a screen by Williams. Shoots the three. Tries again. He takes it up and lays it in.
Yeah, hard trying to keep Williams off the boards. He makes it a mission to keep possessions alive.
Now, here's Levert. Defended by Thibault. Now, here's Levert from outside the arc. Gonna go that time. And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. It's the Trailblazers. They lead by 11. From Portland, we're back in a moment. And now let's go back to a play from earlier as we show you our State Farm assist of the game.
And I'm glad this was the pick because I love this pass. Such a great dish. That's what I call court vision.
Yeah, he puts that pass right on the money and made things look easy for his teammate.
And with the fourth quarter upon us, time is running out for this game to become competitive. And let's get an update on DeAndre Ayton's injury. David, what's the news?
Hi, guys. Well, the head athletic trainer for Portland provided some information. He is in a lot of pain right now because of what they told me is a dislocated finger.
David, thanks for checking in. On top of it is all.
It's interesting. Even with the advancements in strength and conditioning, injuries continue to impact the game.
Well, this is a high-impact sport, and the league continues to get bigger and faster.
On the court for Atlanta, they've got George Niang. He's out there with Nance. Levert out there with Terrence Mann. And it's Krejci in at the point. Here's Henderson. That's tipped. 1 minute now into this fourth quarter. Aston Niang. And there's the whistle. Illegal screen. Dan, I've always admired you. Come from a coaching family. Was there a point growing up you knew you wanted to be a coach?
Yeah, look, I loved being around the game, and so two things happened that drove me into coaching. Number one, I loved baseball, and I couldn't hit one, so that was out. And I wasn't a good enough basketball player to go on that way, so if I wanted to stay involved in the game, that's when I knew I wanted to be a coach.
But your dad had a little bit of that in his background. I say in a little kind of tongue-in-cheek, right? He was a guy that led the way in your interest.
Yeah, my dad coached for over 40 years, and I think he had a great passion for it and always used to tell us that he
And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for the Trailblazers.
Well, you've got to like that they're not settling. They're attacking the defense on the drive and creating great looks.
And they've also been steady from the three-point line and doing a good job creating room for their shooters and then converting.
Matisse Thybulle checked in for Portland. Matthews, he's checked in for the Hawks. And he's good on the second. Here's Henderson. Final quarter here, and we're just over a minute and a half through it. Pass to Grant. Rebound by the Hawks. And Matthews kicks to LeVert. Into the lane. Shoots over Grant. And it's LeVert missing. Trailblazers leading by 10. Henderson outside. Grant sets a screen for Henderson. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
Second personal foul.
Stan, after 11 seasons with this Blazer organization, Damian Lillard traded away in 2023. What a run he had for Portland.
Incredible, Kevin. Not only in terms of his scoring and his individual honors, but the success he brought to the team. While they didn't get over the top and get to the finals, they were a consistent winner. If you were a fan in Portland, you had a good team to come and watch for all of those years.
An almost entirely new group here for Portland. DeAndre Ayton's checked in for Klingon. Avdia comes in for Williams. Shaden Sharp's checked in for Jeremy Grant. And it's Simons in for Matisse Thybulle. And the second free throw, good. Greg, since making it to the Eastern Conference Finals in 2021, the Atlanta Hawks haven't been that good.
And it was hard to tell if that was a Cinderella run at the time, but Kevin, looking like that might have been the outlier. The Hawks took some risks to get back there, but it just hasn't worked.
Well, offensively, he's doing his best to keep them in this game. But they might need someone else to step up as well.
Trailblazers making a switch here. Kamar is checked in. And a change for the Hawks. Reza Shea, he's checked in for LeVert.
One shot.
Free throw good from Daniels. Portland leading by 8. Pass to Kamare. Fourth quarter of play, and we're about 2.5 minutes through it right now. Here's Simons, and he drops it in from the low post. Simons has got 19 points.
And that pick takes the D totally out of the equation.
Yeah, you've got to lock and trail hard. You can't allow him a clean look.
Reza Shea wide open. The shot's good on the assist by Daniels. That's now 8 points for Reza Shea. Portland moving the ball over. Sharp, that's good.
Great at creating shots. Sharp did it there with that catch and shoot.
Young pass to Daniels. Young up top, covered by Simons. Young's shot is off. And so it's Avdia with it. He brings it up for the Trailblazers. 13 points was their biggest lead in the game. Kamare misses. The Hawks trail by 10. Here's Young. Okongwu trying to break free. And Young with the basket on the assist by Daniels.
And the combination of his quickness and soft touch around the rim really allows him to pull off shots shots like that. A lot of players don't have the reverse in their arsenal.
And we've got a timeout called by Chauncey Billups. He's not taking any chances and wants to huddle him up right away.
And your Trailblazers youth men's team.
Moment now to hear from our sideline reporter, Hall of Famer David Aldridge. David.
Guys, during that last break, I listened to Chauncey Billups talk to his team. Now, he told his guys not to get comfortable. He said, so we've got a little breathing room. So what? That's no reason to slow down out there. He wants them to keep the effort up. Guys?
Thanks, David. Here's Simon. Got it. Good job in the low post. And that's now 21 points for Fernie Simon.
Nice vision from the youngster. Sharp that time.
And Young, here we go. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up.
Personal foul. Third team foul. Shooting for Atlanta, Trey Young. At the line for 2.
Shooting 2. So the first one drops, and that brings them within single digits. He hits both from the strike. Here's Simons. 1:52 left in the fourth quarter. He takes it in. Through the net again. He's done that 10 times tonight, and he's only needed 11 shots to get there.
And that's just cold-blooded right there. He's taking no prisoners.
Yeah, he's leaving no doubt in this one. Doing everything he can to slam the door on a comeback.
Pass to Ayton. Sharp with it. Ayton sets the pick for Sharp. Back to Ayton. Misses the layup. He had him with that bump fake.
Suffocating defense to keep the layup from falling.
Okongwu dishes to Daniels. Now Ricochet. Hung outside. Portland grabs the miss. 13 points was their biggest lead in the game.
And now as the clock ticks down, this is going to end up as a solid victory here for the Trailblazers.
Their superior ball handling won it for them.
And fewer turnovers equals greater scoring opportunities. Any coach will tell you that. If you take care of the ball every possession, and this is a perfect example of what happens when you do.
And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for Fernie Simon.
Yeah, and I loved his attitude tonight. He really had that scorer's mentality. Absolutely no one was stopping.
17 seconds left to play here in the fourth. Well, this one is winding down now. Portland can watch the clock run out. So, the Trailblazers win it. A confident win and one where they clearly showed the greater effort.
Yeah, I mean, it was a solid performance, particularly here at home. I think they built off that edge of being here and playing with just a little more confidence than their opponent.
And that'll wrap it up, folks. With Stan Van Gundy, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching, folks, on 2K Sports. And as we leave you, let's take a look at our player of the game, Anthony Simon.